From the very beginning of our lives, many of us experience a feeling that we are different, like we are walking a path that doesn't quite match the rhythms of the world around us. As children, we may not have the words to describe this sense of otherness, but deep down, we know something is different. You may have felt this way, like a quiet whisper in your soul, telling you that there's more to this life than meets the eye. You might have wondered why the things that excited others left you feeling hollow, or why, when you looked at the world, you saw more than just what was in front of you. It wasn't just imagination. It was a deeper truth unfolding, a divine purpose taking root in your heart before you even knew what it was. Perhaps you couldn't explain it to anyone, and no one could quite understand it. You may have heard people call it sensitivity or shyness, but what you experienced was more than that. It was spiritual sensitivity. A calling that began long before you were old enough to comprehend it fully, and one that has followed you ever since. In the stories of old, we see how God sets people apart for a higher purpose even before they know who they are. In the Bible, it says, "Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you," Jeremiah 1 verse 5, a clear message that divine selection is not something that happens when we grow up. It begins before we are even born. As children, the signs of this calling are subtle yet powerful, present in the way we see the world, feel its injustices, and sense things beyond what others can. Perhaps you felt out of place as a child, misunderstood by your peers, or like the world was simply too noisy, too chaotic. It's not that you didn't want to connect with others, it's that your spirit was tuned to a different frequency, one that could hear the quiet whispers of eternity. You were being prepared from a young age to see, understand, and walk in the fullness of a destiny you might not yet have fully grasped. But make no mistake, that calling was already taking root. We know that many chosen ones often struggle with this sense of difference, feeling disconnected or isolated. You might have found yourself seeking silence and solitude, not as a sign of sadness, but as a way to connect with something deeper within. It was never about loneliness. It was about something far greater, a connection to the divine, an invitation to understand more, to see beyond the surface of things. It's as if your soul was yearning for answers that others around you were not asking. You noticed the pain in the world more acutely, felt the weight of injustice deeply, and in some way, you carried an awareness of a greater purpose. And, even though others may have brushed these experiences aside as nothing more than childhood quirks, these were the early signs of something divine working within you. This is why, as you look back on your childhood, those moments that seemed confusing or strange now make perfect sense. You were marked from the beginning. The signs were always there. And now, as an adult, you may begin to see the pieces fall into place. The sensitivity you experienced, the unexplainable dreams, the silent whispers, all of these were the beginning of a journey you were destined to walk. This journey is not an accident, but a calling, one that was written in the stars long before you knew what it meant. So, as you reflect on these signs, don't be alarmed. You were chosen long ago, and every step you've taken, even the painful ones, have brought you closer to fulfilling your divine purpose. Welcome to the journey of discovering that you were set apart from the start. Welcome to the awakening of the calling that has always been yours. From the earliest moments of our lives, we are subtly shaped by a higher hand, and many of us, even as children, begin to recognize that we are different from others. This sense of difference is not born out of arrogance or pride but from a deep inner awareness that our lives are unfolding according to a greater plan. As children, we often cannot name this feeling, but there is a profound sense that we are living out a story that others cannot see. We don't fit into the mold of the world around us, and we are not content with simple answers to life's most profound questions. While other children play, laugh, and argue over trivial matters, the chosen ones find themselves lost in contemplation, wondering about the deeper meaning of existence. The questions that stir our hearts are not trivial. They are questions of purpose, of life's meaning, of a higher calling that seems to hover just out of reach. This early longing is not a weakness but a divine spark, a whisper from heaven that we are meant for something more. When we look back at our childhoods, we may notice that the sense of not fitting in was not merely a product of social discomfort but a sign that we were destined for something much larger than our immediate surroundings. While the children around us were content to play and explore their worlds, we were often left wondering about the mysteries of life. It was not a matter of being shy or introverted, it was the natural tendency of the spirit to seek answers to questions that others weren't asking. In our quiet, contemplative moments, we sensed that there was more to life than the immediate pleasures and distractions of childhood. Our longing for a deeper understanding, our sensitivity to the world's injustices, our heightened awareness of others' emotions, these were not signs of weakness. They were early signs that we were attuned to a different frequency, a spiritual frequency that set us apart. Perhaps we remember feeling a restlessness that couldn't be explained, an inner dissatisfaction that others seemed oblivious to. The world, with all its distractions and surface pleasures, couldn't fill the void inside us. While other children chased after toys, sweets, and temporary pleasures, we yearned for something more profound. We longed for truth, for purity, for authenticity in a world that often seemed fake and shallow. It was not a rebellion against the world, but a deep, unspoken yearning for a connection that transcended the material. Others might have laughed it off as youthful sensitivity, but in truth, it was the first stirrings of a spiritual awakening. These early feelings weren't fleeting moments of confusion, they were the initial nudges of a soul called to something higher. The world may not have understood us, but our hearts knew something that would unfold in due time. We were being prepared for something far greater than we could comprehend. As we grew older, these feelings became clearer, though still not fully understood. We may have found it difficult to relate to others, not because we didn't want to, but because there was a deeper, silent calling in our hearts that others didn't hear. While children our age were concerned with fitting in and meeting the expectations of others, we found ourselves more concerned with the questions of the soul. We saw things that others didn't see, the pain in a stranger's eyes, the injustice in the way the world worked, the way the truth was often hidden behind a veil of lies. This sensitivity, this heightened awareness, was a gift, though it often felt like a burden. It was as if our spirits were more awake than those around us, more attuned to the deeper rhythms of life. This restlessness, this longing for truth, was not an accident, it was part of our spiritual formation, an early sign that we were being prepared for the calling that lay ahead. The divine hand that shaped us from childhood was also the one that gave us the ability to see the world through different eyes. Where others saw injustice, we saw the need for compassion, where others saw pain, we felt the need for healing. It wasn't that we were more sensitive than others, it was that our hearts were more open to the world's deeper realities. While children were playing carefree, we often found ourselves pondering the mysteries of life. We may have questioned why some people suffered while others thrived, or why the world seemed so broken. These questions were not just idle thoughts, they were the soul's cry for understanding, for answers, for a deeper connection to the divine. And even in the silence of our questioning, there was a sense that we were being guided towards something greater, something that would eventually bring all the pieces together. For many of us, this sense of spiritual sensitivity was not easily understood by others. Parents, teachers, and friends might have dismissed it as mere childhood imagination or sensitivity, but deep within, we knew it was more than that. It was as if our spirits were on alert, sensing things beyond the physical world. We may have had dreams that felt too real to ignore, premonitions of future events, or an innate ability to read the energy of a room. These gifts, though subtle, were signs that our souls were being shaped for a divine purpose. It's easy to dismiss these early experiences as mere coincidence, but for those who were chosen, they were the first whispers of a calling that would only grow stronger as time went on. These early signs, vivid dreams, intuitive feelings, a sense of spiritual protection, were not random. They were the fingerprints of God on our lives, showing us that we were set apart for something extraordinary, even before we knew what it was. As children, we may have been drawn to moments of solitude, not because we were lonely, but because we were seeking something that the world couldn't offer. We enjoyed observing nature, sitting in silence, talking to God in our thoughts, or simply being alone with our reflections. This wasn't isolation in a negative sense, it was a yearning for connection with something deeper, something eternal. It was in these moments of quiet solitude that we began to hear the still, small voice of God speaking to our hearts. We didn't fully understand what it all meant, but we knew that we were being called to something greater than the world around us. While others played games and sought out distractions, we were already beginning the journey of self-discovery, listening to the whispers of heaven that would guide us on our path. But even in these moments of solitude, we felt the presence of something divine, something greater than ourselves. We may not have had the language to explain it, but we knew that we were never truly alone. There was a sense that God was with us, guiding us, even when we didn't understand the full extent of His plan. It was as if He was walking beside us, even in our loneliness, preparing us for the journey ahead. This divine connection, though subtle and often unnoticed by others, was the bedrock of our calling. It was a presence that sustained us, even in our most difficult moments, and it would continue to guide us as we grew older and more aware of our purpose. And so, as we look back on our childhood, we see these signs not as coincidences or accidents but as the hand of God shaping our lives for something greater. The feeling of not fitting in, the deep spiritual sensitivity, the desire for something more meaningful, these were not flaws, but signs of a soul being prepared for its divine mission. Though we may not have understood it at the time, we were being set apart, marked for something extraordinary. As the chosen ones grow, their sensitivity to the unseen world deepens, and they begin to notice things that others cannot. From childhood, many experience a heightened sense of intuition, a spiritual radar that allows them to sense the truth behind words, actions, and even the energy in a room. It is not that they are more intuitive by chance, it is that their spirits have been finely attuned to a frequency that allows them to perceive what others overlook. This spiritual sensitivity is not just a gift, it is a divine preparation, an internal compass designed to guide them through life's complexities. While others may be focused on the physical and tangible, the chosen ones are more often attuned to what lies beneath the surface, seeing with the eyes of the Spirit. Their intuition speaks louder than any external voice, urging them to trust their gut feelings, their instincts, and the quiet whispers from within. And as they grow, this heightened sensitivity continues to shape their path, allowing them to discern what is true and what is false, even when the world around them is deceived. This intuitive nature manifests early, often appearing as vivid dreams or premonitions that feel far too real to ignore. These dreams are not mere fantasies of childhood, they are messages from a higher realm, guiding the chosen ones even before they understand their purpose. From an early age, they might wake up with the distinct feeling that something they saw in a dream is going to happen, and when it does, it feels less like a coincidence and more like a divine assurance. These dreams often come with vivid symbols, warning signs, or visions of the future, and while they might be dismissed by adults as the product of imagination, the chosen know that these dreams are carrying deeper meanings. The connection to the spiritual world is undeniable, and the dreams act as a map, guiding them to what is yet to come. These aren't just ordinary dreams, these are visions with purpose, helping to shape the chosen one's understanding of their place in the world. As these dreams unfold, the chosen begin to see how each one plays a role in preparing them for the mission that lies ahead. Over time, the intuition and spiritual sensitivity grow stronger, guiding them through life's decisions with a wisdom that feels beyond their years. This internal compass isn't just about avoiding danger, it's about knowing what to follow and what to avoid. It's a tool that allows them to walk through life with a deep sense of direction, even when the path ahead isn't clear. The chosen ones may find themselves drawn to people, places, or situations that feel right, while instinctively avoiding those that feel off. It is not always easy to explain this to others, but the chosen understand that these instincts are more than just feelings, they are divine guidance, given to help them fulfill their calling. These moments of spiritual discernment serve as quiet reminders that they are being watched over and guided towards something greater. While others may rely on logic, the chosen rely on their inner knowing, trusting the silent whispers of the Spirit to lead them forward. But this sensitivity is not without its challenges. The world around the chosen one can often feel harsh and overwhelming. Environments filled with noise, chaos, or negativity can feel unbearable, and the energy of these places can drain them, leaving them exhausted and disoriented. It's not that they are fragile, rather, their sensitivity to the world's vibrations is so acute that they can feel the weight of negative energy in a way others cannot. Schools, crowded places, and homes filled with conflict can become overwhelming for them, and the sensitivity that is meant to be a gift can feel like a burden. As children, they may find it difficult to explain why they feel drained in certain environments, but as they grow older, they begin to realize that their sensitivity is a divine protection. It's as if their spirit is alert to the dangers lurking beneath the surface, warning them when something isn't right. This heightened awareness, while sometimes overwhelming, is not a curse, it is a blessing, preparing them to navigate a world that can be both beautiful and harsh. As the chosen one matures, their spiritual sensitivity becomes more refined. It's not just about sensing the energy of people or places, it's about discerning the intentions behind them. The chosen can often tell when someone is being genuine or when they are hiding something, even when that person is putting on a smile. It's a gift that allows them to cut through the layers of deception and see the truth beneath. In relationships, this sensitivity becomes invaluable, as the chosen can sense the emotions and intentions of others in a way that helps them form deep, meaningful connections. At the same time, it can make it difficult for them to tolerate falsehood or insincerity. The more they tune into this divine compass, the more they find themselves walking away from situations or people that no longer align with their purpose. This doesn't mean they are rejecting others, it means they are protecting themselves from being misled or dragged off course. Their sensitivity helps them stay true to their path, guiding them away from distractions and toward the people, places, and experiences that will help them fulfill their divine calling. But it's not just the sensitivity to others that sets the chosen ones apart, it's their ability to feel the divine presence in their lives. As children, they often feel a connection to something greater, something unseen, that comforts and protects them. It's a quiet assurance that they are never alone, even in their darkest moments. Whether it's a sense of peace that washes over them during a time of trial or a sudden, inexplicable feeling of safety during a dangerous moment, the chosen know that they are being held by something divine. This sense of protection isn't always visible to others, but it is felt deeply in the heart of the chosen. There is a knowing that God's presence is always near, guiding, protecting, and comforting. This divine protection is not just physical, it is spiritual. It helps the chosen navigate the world with a sense of peace and assurance, even when the circumstances around them are difficult or uncertain. As they grow, The spiritual sensitivity that began in childhood continues to evolve, becoming a guiding force in their lives. The intuitive feelings, vivid dreams, and sense of divine protection are not isolated incidents, they are part of a larger narrative that unfolds over time. Each sign, each moment of clarity, each whisper from the Spirit brings the chosen closer to their purpose. It's as if every experience, every challenge, and every interaction is preparing them for the greater calling that lies ahead. The spiritual sensitivity that began as a subtle feeling in childhood becomes a beacon, guiding them through life with a deep sense of purpose and direction. The chosen know that they are being led by a higher power, and they trust that every step they take is part of the divine plan. This sensitivity, though it may have caused them to feel isolated at times, is not a curse, it is a gift. It allows them to see the world through the eyes of the Spirit, to discern the truth when others are blinded by illusions. It helps them navigate the complexities of life with a wisdom that transcends human understanding. The chosen are not simply sensitive, they are spiritually awakened, attuned to the divine presence that guides them every step of the way. And as they continue on their journey, they will begin to understand that this sensitivity is not just for their own benefit. It is a tool, a gift from God, meant to help them fulfill their calling and bring healing, wisdom, and peace to a world that desperately needs it. The more they trust in their intuition, the more they will be led toward their true purpose, and the more they will come to understand the divine plan that has been unfolding in their lives since the very beginning. As the chosen ones continue their journey through life, the calling that began in childhood evolves into a powerful force, shaping not only their perceptions of the world but also their very identities. From an early age, many of the chosen experience isolation, not from a lack of love, but from a divine purpose that calls them to walk a path distinct from those around them. It is not a path that others can easily understand, for it is steeped in spiritual preparation, hidden lessons, and a deeper connection with the unseen realm. The chosen ones often find themselves walking through life with a quiet, almost invisible sense of purpose, even when they do not fully comprehend what that purpose is. This sense of not quite fitting in, of standing apart, becomes a part of their spiritual journey, a preparation for the great mission that lies ahead. The world may label them as different or lonely, but for the chosen, these moments of solitude are a sacred time of introspection, growth, and communion with the divine. It is in these moments of quiet separation that they are made ready to fulfill the higher calling placed on their lives. This early sense of solitude and divine separation is not a punishment but a form of spiritual nurturing. The challenges faced in childhood, whether through rejection, misunderstanding, or simply not fitting into the molds of society, serve as a crucible, refining the chosen one's character and strengthening their spirit for what lies ahead. These trials, though painful, are not without purpose. They are meant to cultivate resilience, empathy, and discernment, qualities that will later become vital to the chosen one's mission. Just as gold is purified in fire, the chosen ones are refined through their struggles, emerging stronger, more compassionate, and more attuned to the divine purpose that has been unfolding within them from the very beginning. In times of hardship, the chosen may feel lost, abandoned, or overwhelmed, but even in those moments of darkness, God's presence is near, whispering words of comfort and assurance that the journey is not in vain. It is during these times of difficulty that their connection to the divine deepens, and they come to realize that their pain is not meaningless. It is a part of their preparation for something extraordinary. This sense of divine preparation is not always easy to understand, especially when the challenges feel overwhelming. It is in the midst of isolation, struggle, and even rejection that the chosen one begins to develop the strength of character necessary to fulfill their purpose. It is in these moments of difficulty that they learn to trust in the unseen hand of God, knowing that even when they feel abandoned, they are never truly alone. The divine presence, though invisible to the human eye, is always with them, guiding, protecting, and shaping them for the greater purpose that awaits. The chosen ones, though they may not always understand their journey, trust that every hardship, every moment of isolation, and every struggle is a piece of the puzzle that will one day make sense. They understand, in the deepest part of their being, that their struggles are not obstacles, but opportunities for growth and transformation. And it is through these trials that they are being made ready for the mission they were born to fulfill. As they continue on their spiritual journey, the chosen ones begin to recognize the unique role they have been set apart to play in the world. They may feel as though they are being called to lead, to teach, to heal, or to serve in ways that others cannot understand. The calling becomes clearer with time, and the chosen begin to realize that they are not meant to conform to the world's standards. They are not meant to fit into the mold that society has set for them. Instead, they are called to walk a different path, a path that is deeply rooted in spiritual truth, divine purpose, and the higher calling that has been placed on their lives. This awareness does not come all at once. It comes gradually, as the chosen ones begin to see the subtle signs of divine intervention in their lives, guiding them toward their true purpose. The more they trust in the process, the more they begin to understand that everything they have gone through, every hardship, every moment of isolation, and every spiritual awakening, has been preparing them for this moment of realization. This realization is not always an easy one to accept. The chosen ones may feel conflicted as they come to terms with the fact that their journey will not be like everyone else's. They may feel the weight of their calling and wonder if they are strong enough to carry it. But as they reflect on their journey, they come to understand that they are being equipped for this calling, that the trials they have faced have strengthened them in ways they could not have imagined. It is in these moments of reflection that they realize they have been prepared to walk the path less traveled, to stand apart from the crowd, and to fulfill a mission that will bring healing, wisdom, and light to a world in need. They begin to see their struggles not as setbacks, but as stepping stones, each one bringing them closer to the fulfillment of their divine purpose. The chosen ones are also marked by an inner drive to help others. From a young age, they often feel a deep sense of compassion for those around them. This compassion is not born out of obligation, but out of a deep conviction that they are meant to make a difference in the world. Whether it is through acts of kindness, words of encouragement, or simply being present for someone in need, the chosen ones are driven by a sense of mission that goes beyond personal gain. They are not motivated by fame, fortune, or recognition. Instead, they are motivated by a deep desire to serve, to heal, and to help others find the same peace and purpose that they have found through their connection with the divine. This drive to help others is not always understood by those around them, but it is a key part of their mission. It is through their acts of service that they are able to fulfill their calling and make a lasting impact on the world. As the chosen ones continue to walk the path laid before them, they come to understand that their calling is not just about personal fulfillment. It is about fulfilling a divine purpose that is larger than themselves. They are not simply called to live for their own benefit, but to serve a greater good, to bring healing to the broken, to speak truth to the lost, and to help guide others toward the same divine connection that has sustained them throughout their lives. This calling is not always easy, and it often requires great sacrifice. But the chosen ones understand that it is through these sacrifices that they are fulfilling their divine mission. They trust that the divine hand that has guided them through their struggles will continue to lead them toward the fulfillment of their purpose. And as they continue to walk this path, they find that they are not alone. They are surrounded by the love, support, and protection of the divine, and they are empowered to fulfill their calling with grace, courage, and strength. The chosen ones, having been prepared from childhood through isolation, struggle, and divine intervention, come to recognize that their journey is not just about them. It is about the lives they will touch, the people they will heal, and the world they will change. It is through their struggles that they are shaped into the leaders, healers, and messengers that the world so desperately needs. And as they continue on this journey, they come to realize that they are not just walking a path, they are walking in the footsteps of those who have gone before them, those who have answered the call to serve a higher purpose. They are part of a divine legacy that spans generations, and they are carrying that legacy forward, one step at a time. As we reflect on the journey of the chosen ones, it becomes clear that the signs of their divine calling are not always easy to recognize, especially when we are still children. From the earliest stages of life, there has been a higher purpose quietly unfolding within them, a divine presence that guides, protects, and shapes their journey. Even in moments of isolation, struggle, and confusion, the chosen ones are being prepared for something extraordinary. Each sign, each whisper of the Spirit, each trial, and each moment of divine intervention serves to build the foundation for the greater mission that lies ahead. These experiences, though they may seem painful or overwhelming in the moment, are ultimately the tools that God uses to shape them into the vessels they were always meant to be. The struggles, the sense of not belonging, the heightened sensitivity to the world's deeper truths, all of these pieces come together to create a person who is uniquely equipped to fulfill the divine purpose that was placed in them from the very beginning. The sense of not fitting in, of being marked for something greater, is not something that should be feared or dismissed. Instead, it is something to be embraced, for it is a sign of divine selection, of being set apart for a higher purpose. As the chosen ones grow, they begin to understand that their sensitivity, their intuition, their dreams, and their connection to the divine are not random, they are all part of a carefully crafted plan. Even in moments of doubt or confusion, they are reminded that they are not alone. The invisible presence that has guided them since childhood continues to walk beside them, offering comfort, strength, and wisdom. As they mature, they begin to recognize that they have been equipped with unique gifts that are meant to serve a higher purpose. The divine protection, the prophetic dreams, the inner guidance, all of these are not just signs of a special calling, they are the tools that will help the chosen ones fulfill their mission to bring light, healing, and wisdom to the world. For those who have experienced these signs, those who have felt the whispers of the Spirit, who have seen visions, who have been guided by their intuition, know that you are not alone. You are part of a larger story, a divine narrative that stretches back through generations, and it is your turn to step into the role you were born to play. The world may not always understand your journey, but that is not important. What matters is that you trust in the divine purpose that has been placed on your life. You were chosen before you even knew who you were, and now is the time to embrace that calling. The signs that once seemed confusing or isolating are now clear, your path is set before you, and you are being called to walk it with courage, with grace, and with faith. The world needs your light, your wisdom, your compassion. Do not shy away from the divine calling that is unfolding in your life, for you have been chosen to make a difference, to heal, to teach, and to bring comfort to those in need. As you continue your journey, remember that the path may not always be easy, but it is always worth it. The struggles you face, the moments of doubt, the times when you feel disconnected from the world around you, they are all part of the divine preparation that will equip you to fulfill your purpose. You are not just walking through life, you are walking in the footsteps of those who have gone before you, those who have answered the call to serve a higher purpose. The divine legacy you carry is not just for you, it is for the generations that will come after you, for the lives you will touch, and for the world that desperately needs your light. So, as you reflect on the signs of your divine calling, know that you are not alone. You are part of a greater story, a divine plan that is unfolding with each step you take. Your sensitivity, your intuition, your connection to the divine, These are not weaknesses, they are your strength. Embrace them. Trust them. And step forward with confidence, knowing that you were chosen for this moment, for this journey, and for the extraordinary purpose that awaits you. Keep walking with faith, for the divine path is always lit with light, and the calling that is yours will always lead you home. Blessings on your journey, and remember, you were chosen before you even knew. Let your spirit shine brightly, and may you continue to walk in the truth of your divine purpose.